I had another run-in with the Thieves' Guild.
Be careful, Mio. The Thieves' Guild has Maven Blackbriar at her back. One snap of her fingers and you could end up in Riften jail. Or worse.
They represent
I don't know you. You and Riften looking for trouble?
I know. I just don't
Don't say something you'll regret. Last thing the Blackbriars need is some loudmouth trying to meddle in their affairs. The Blackbriar... Me? I'm Maul. I watch the streets for 'em. If you need dirt on anything, I'm your guy. But it'll... Then you're stupider than you look. You better watch your ass around here.
I'm really getting tired of your excuses. When you borrowed the money, you said you'd pay it back on time and for double the usual fee.
I know I did. But how was I to know the shipment would get upset about anything?
Next time, keep your plans quiet, and nothing would have happened to it.
What?
Ugh, you smell
Are you
horrible.
telling me you robbed it?
Why?
Why?
People of Riften, heed my words. The return of the dragons is not mere coincidence. This is one of the signs that Lady Mara is displeased with your constant inebriation.
Looking for work?
Put down your
I
flagons
need someone to
filled with
deliver
your
a message to
vile
Sibby
liquids,
Blackbriar.
and embrace the teachings of the Handmaiden of Kine.
Ah, well. I recently approached Sibby Blackbriar about buying Frost, one of the finest breeding horses in Skyrim. He agreed to sell. I paid Sibby half the cost of Frost up front, but before he could deliver, Maven had him locked up. Sibby believes this exempts him from our deal. It does not. I want you to talk to Sibby for me. Then I want you to bring me Frost and the lineage papers that prove the horse's worth.
We're not kicking you out. Just keep the servants.
Good man. You won't regret it. Head to the Riften jail and talk to Sibby. Get him to tell you where Frost and his lineage papers are and bring them to me outside Riften. You'll be well paid for your time. I'm not exactly comfortable around... No idea, but whatever he did, it must have angered Maven. No guard would lock up a Blackbriar without the old lady's permission. I'll meet you outside of town.
You're a stranger here too, huh?
You've been in Riften
Visitors
for
like
quite
us
some
are
time
rare
now,
in this
Lady
part
Mio.
of Skyrim.
I fear that you soon may leave us.
To call it a
I'm
guild
relieved
is
to hear you say that.
ridiculous.
If you
How
were
can
to
people
leave,
who would
I'd miss
betray
you.
one another over a gold coin be considered part of an association? They're the worst kind. Even the Dark Brotherhood abides by a strict set of rules and tradition. These thieves are just rabble. What do you think?
I hope so. I can't stand this city anymore.
That's a shame. Too many people in Riften share your view, and look where it's getting them. It's going to take more than just myself and Eren to help this city. It has to want to help itself first. Maven Blackbriar, the matriarch of the family, represents everything that's wrong with this city. She's bribed countless officials, has friends back in the Imperial City, and freely associates with the Thieves' Guild. I've tried everything I can to protect Riften citizens from her family, but to no avail. Well, there is Ingun Blackbriar, Maven's daughter. Strange girl. She likes to spend time down in Elgrim's elixirs working on her alchemy. Then you have Hemming, Maven's son. Spoiled brat and heir to her empire. He follows her word like a loyal dog follows its master. And finally, Sibby, the worst of all of them. He's in Riften jail for murder. I've been adventuring across Tamriel since I was a fresh-faced young woman barely able to swing a blade. My travels have taken me from High Rock to Valenwood, Elsewhere to Morrowind, and all points in between. Many years ago, I lost my blade, Grimsever, within a Dwemer ruin. I took it as a sign that I was wasting my days in search of wealth. You and I are alike. We seek challenge and great fortune. But for me, that's where the similarities end. You see, Riften is my great beast to be slain, and my fortune comes from gratitude and trust. It's been difficult. I've taken the burdens of this city's problems upon myself, and I keep running into impossible obstacles. Corruption, lies, and deceit are the order of the day here. If it wasn't for Eren, the young man who saved my life, I think I'd already have given up long ago. It was Eren who found me dying outside of a Dwemer ruin. If he hadn't brought me here and nursed me back to health, I would have died. When my strength returned and he told me about the problems plaguing Riften, I decided fate brought me here for a reason. So I stayed. Safe travels.
I've never seen Mjol. Mjol told me that it isn't this bad everywhere. Maybe one day I'll venture out and see if she's right.
I don't have time for idle chit-chat. What is it? Of course. Nothing gets done without my approval in this city. I have the Jarl's ear, and the guards in my pocket. Anyone makes trouble for me, and I pay a visit to the Thieves' Guild. Make me angry, and I contact the Dark Brotherhood. You do well to remember that the next time you make such a stupid observation. Don't tell me. Sibby and Louis Latruche? Well, Sibby is in jail, and Latruche is certainly welcome to try. My hired help is more than a match for him. Really? Now that is interesting. Then you should know that Louis and I have a certain history. Tell you what, go along with his plans for now. I'll keep an eye on you both, and when the time is right, I'll settle accounts with Louis.
Mjol's brought me nothing but safety and peace of mind. And some lessons with the blade.
If your allegiance lies with they mean to take our history and crush it all in the name of some damn treaty. The soil beneath our feet is steeped in the blood of our ancestors. We've fought for this land, and died for it. I lost my own daughter to the Imperial dogs, and by Talos I'll not lose anyone else. Lelia joined the Stormcloaks many years ago, when the first of the skirmishes broke out across Skyrim. I was so proud of her. She served as a battle maiden, using her healing arts to help those that fell on the battlefield. Never even lifted a blade in her life. It didn't matter. The Imperial soldiers cut her down, killed her like a dog, and left her body to rot in the mud. And that's why I won't rest easy until every single Imperial soldier joins her, and Ulfric sits upon the throne of Skyrim. Support Ulfric or die trying. There's nothing in between.
Welcome to the Bee and Barb, my lord. If I can interest you in one of our... I met her when I wandered into Riften a few years ago. In Blackmarsh, tradition dictates we present a potential mate a unique wedding ring to represent our future bond. I already have the gold band, but all I need are 3 flawless amethysts to complete the setting. I was hoping you'd offer. I didn't think it was my place to ask such a favor of you. I thank you. Every Argonian wedding, 2 of the gems, the ones on the outside, represent the couple to be married. One for the husband, one for the wife. The amethyst in the center represents the Hist, the entity that all Argonians consider a sacred part of our lives. They're vermin, garbage. They're exactly what makes this city such a horrible place to live. How appropriate they should live in the Ratway with the rest of the trash. Disgusting. Ruined sewers filled with goodness knows what. There's an entrance down by the canal, but I'd highly advise you to stay out of there. It's the Thieves' Guild's territory. If you'll excuse me, I have other things to attend to.
Visiting Riften?
Come to see Balaman perform miracles. Smithing's been in my blood for generations. I owe my success to my forefathers and their recipe for flame. The secret is my forge. It consumes fire salts, a strange mineral that burns as hot as red mountain lava. Well, it was. Sadly, this forge is dying, and I've used the last of my fire salts. If I can't feed it soon, it may grow cold. You will? Thank you. 10 pinches of fire salt should give me all I need to bring this forge back to life. Looking to protect yourself, or deal some damage?
Jewelry with legendary Argonian crafts.
Running a little light in the pockets, lad? I can take a hint, lad. You want to make some coin? Come find me.
Make love like a saber cat, or crush your enemies to dust like a giant. Only a mere 20 gold.
What brings you to Balaman today? Nothing like the smell of a white-hot blade, eh? Looking for some armor? A weapon, perhaps? That's some good armor you've put together. Come to see Balaman perform. You wish to do what I do? Very well.
Beautiful baubles and gleaming gemstones over here.
Protect yourself right.
Remember, nothing but genuine fire salts will do. The forge knows the difference.
Please. Please, I need but a septum. A septum is
Glad
all
to
I
see you
ask.
finally
That's
came to
so
your senses.
bad.
Ready to make some coin? Simple. I'm going to cause a distraction. You're gonna steal Medesi's silver ring from a strongbox under his stand. Once you have it, I want you to place it in Branche's pocket without him noticing. There's someone that wants to see him put out of business permanently. That's all you need to know. Now, you tell me when you're ready, and we'll get started. We've been contracted to make sure Branche remembers not to meddle in affairs that aren't his own. Now, since we're not the Dark Brotherhood, we're not going to kill him. We're just going to make sure he sits in the prisons for a few days.
Protect yourself right.
I'm ready when you are. Just give the
Exotic
word.
ingredients, I have them all. Can I interest you in some fine goods from Morrowind? I may be Dark Elf by birth, but I was raised Argonian. Through reasons I'm still trying to discover, I ended up orphaned then. I hope one day to find out what happened to me. How I ended up like that.
Don't miss out. Purchase a bottle of my genuine
Just
farmer
one.
blood elixir.
I know when I was found by my Argonian father, I was wrapped in a blanket bearing the symbol of House Telvanni. It was one of the great houses in Morrowind long ago. Whether that means I was one of them or not, I'm uncertain. If you come across anything in your travels that might provide me with the answers I'm looking for, I'd be grateful.
Genuine Falmer
Thank
blood
you.
elixir for sale. Live for thousands of years. See into other people's thoughts.
Everything I've got on display, really. Anything you can find would be of great help.
Working at the Riften fishery is tough, but it puts some coin in my pocket.
Buy some armor and live... You gonna buy something? See for yourself. Come back when you're ready to spend more gold. Goodness knows I could use it.
Have our scouts come up with any information on these reports of dragons?
Yes, my lady. That unpleasantness at Helgen supposedly involved a dragon. It killed several soldiers before... Excuse my disorganization, but I'm in the middle of some delicate experiments.
Sure
Yes, Well, in fact, if you could... As you can imagine, I tend to forget. What I need is my Dwemer stirrings. Bring those items back to me, and I'll be happy to experiment on you. No, that isn't right. I'd be happy to reward you. Excellent. I can't wait. Well, why are you still standing here? Oh, right. You need to know where they are. That would help. I have to remember. Ward first, then summon. As Riften's steward, I'm afraid I can provide only limited assistance. The Jarl has put out a bounty on some bandits. Here, take a look at this decree for details. I'd hardly call them a guild. More like unorganized rabble. In fact, I wouldn't say they were a threat at all. No, our resources should be spent on preparations for invasion. You're welcome in Riften, as long as you continue to obey our laws.
Buy some armor and live to tell about it.
You looking for something or what? Of course not. You expect me to take care of it by myself? My niece Svana helps me with the chores. She'd be more help if she kept her head out of the clouds. She's been with me ever since her parents were killed by bandits and she was dropped in my lap. I don't know why I bother.
Greetings, honored friend. Could I do. Only trouble, would you be interested in gathering some materials for me? I'd certainly be happy to compensate you. Thank you, Landstrider. I'm seeking a small list of items to complete my next creation. 2 flawless sapphires, a mammoth tusk, and a chunk of gold ore. Safe travels, Landstrider.
Learn a library's worth of knowledge in
My food. I picked up a trick from a butcher in Elenir, a small town over the border in Hammerfell. He showed me a way to grind up ice wraith teeth and use it as a preservative. Keeps everything cold and fresh, but only for a limited time. I'm always looking to replenish my supply, so if you ever come across 5 of them, I'd be more than happy to take them off your hands. Thanks. I was actually worried I'd run out. Be careful looking for those teeth. Those little bastards are dangerous.
Sure, sure. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind...
Vegetables as crisp as a winter's morning.
Huh? What do you want? I owe a great deal of money to someone, and I think they cheated me. I don't know what to do. I was able to work out a deal with the stables in Whiterun to sell me some of their tack and harnesses. I borrowed some gold from Sapphire to pay for the shipment, but it got robbed before it even arrived. Now Sapphire wants her money back, and if I don't pay her, I think she's going to kill me. You will? Oh, thank you. Yes. Hofgrir took me in when I arrived in Riften about a year ago. He's been teaching me everything he knows. Horses are my whole life. Back in Hammerfell, I helped my family raise horses at our farm. I hope to open my own stables one day, but I think it's going to take a lot longer than I expected. Be careful with Sapphire. She mixes with all sorts of nasty people.
Sorry about... mess. Keeping this place clean. I'd appreciate work. I suppose you can call it that. I call it slavery. I work my fingers to the bone keeping this disgusting place clean. Ever since my parents died and Helga took me in, it's been a nightmare. How was I to know she was such a wretched woman? So now I'm stuck living here while those pigs she calls customers grope me and say the most awful things. It's not just the work, it's everything about her. She's disgusting. I think she takes her worship of Dibella a bit too seriously. Do you know she's slept with 3 different men in the last month alone? What kind of woman would do such a thing? Just for once, I'd like to see her squirm, to rub her nose in it. Actually, there is, but I don't think I could get away with doing it. She'd kill me if she found out. You see, I happen to know, after she makes love, she gives her partner a token of her affection, called a Mark of Dibella. If you confront her with 3 of the marks, she'd be so embarrassed. Well, I don't know what she'd do. Oh, this is going to be great! You need to get the marks of Dibella from Bolli, Hofgrir, and Indaren. Not sure how you're going to do that, but try your best. Then just confront Helga with them, and the rest works itself out. Try and get those marks without violence, please. I don't want to be responsible for their deaths.
I'm kind of busy, but if you need any potions or ingredients, let me know.
This place has seen better days, but it's not my fault.
You here for less? Do you have any idea how busy I am? Well, the moisture in the air is better for the ingredients. It isn't every day that you get your hands on fresh nernroot or painted troll fat. It also makes it easier to gather water when the canal is right out the front door. Besides, I also prefer the quiet. I didn't open this business for browsing. Come in, buy what you need, and get out. Hardly. In fact, I don't know how I get anything done with all the distractions I have to put up with. My wife, Halfjorg, well, she's a necessary evil, I suppose. Not a lick of talent when it comes to alchemy, but she keeps me fed. Then there's Ingen Blackbriar, bright young thing and a worthy apprentice, when she isn't wasting my rare ingredients. Yes, goodbye.
Where's my head? I swear if I wasn't around, Elgrim would forget to eat his meals. How we make any coin at all is beyond me. In fact, I need to arrange for someone to pick up an ore sample for me in Shore's stone. Goodness knows Elgrim won't lift a finger to do it. You would? Oh, that would be wonderful. Speak to Filnyar in Shore's stone. He's got some sort of ore sample he wants us to identify and was willing to pay us well for it. When Elgrim said we were setting up shop down here, I told him he would catch his death. The dirt, the moisture, is disgusting. Who wants to spend their life living like a skeever? But that old bellyacre just fed me some nonsense about light ruining his mixtures and being close to the water. Ugh. I know how to mix a few basic potions, but I'm nowhere near as skilled as a master alchemist. I've picked up a few tricks by reading the tomes scattered all over the shop, but I don't have the knack to pull off half of the formulas. I wish Elgrim had spent more time tutoring me than that Ingen girl. Oh, no, I didn't mean it that way. Elgrim can barely put on his own shoes, let alone have the energy to pursue a young girl. He's been gushing about how talented Ingen is at alchemy. He'd never say it to her face. That's not his way. I just think Elgrim's taken it upon himself to mentor the young thing, so he focuses a lot of attention on her. Be careful. The road to Shore's stone could be dangerous.
If your allegiance lies with the Empire, we haven't much to discuss.
Yeah? What's your problem? I knew that stupid kid would try and find a way to weasel out of his debt. Look, this is really simple. I lent him some gold, he promised to pay me back, and now he says he's broke. End of story. All right. I guess I made enough from his shipment. No need to waste any more time threatening a stable hand. Tell Shadra he doesn't owe me anything. I hope we bump into each other again.
I presume you're bothering me for a good reason.
Welcome to the Bee and Barb, my lord. If I can interest you in one of our special drinks, you let me know.
New in town, eh? There's nothing like fishing on Lake Onrek. You should try it sometime. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'd never sleep with anyone besides my good wife, Drifa. Hand what over? I have no idea what you're talking about. Or else what? You don't scare me. Remember to give at the temple. Sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you much right now.
What wasn't I clear about? Do you want me to hold your hand as well? You're going to have to sneak over to Medesi's stall and use your lockpick on the strongbox. Okay, lad. Ready to make some coin?
If you're looking for anything to sell for a fair price... Catchy, isn't it? I ended up selling that ship to open this place. If I had been smarter, I would have kept my... This city's corrupt. Catchy, isn't it? I ended up selling that... If I had been smarter, I would have... It's our name for the old sewers that run under... It used to be a... The guild stocks the place full of thugs that aren't good enough to join. So watch yourself if you venture down there.
Come to see Balaman perform miracles with steel, eh?
Welcome to Riften, home of the Thieves' Guild. Or so they'd have you believe. It's all lies. You're just thugs. Vermin creeping around the rat way.
Welcome to the Bee and Barb, my lord. If I can interest you in one of our special drinks, you let me know. If you'll excuse me, I have other things to attend to.
We haven't much to discuss.
Sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you much right now. I'm currently in Moore. You've caught me at a bad time. It was my sister. We recently heard she'd been killed. I find it difficult to talk. Anyway, I'm glad my work at the Blackbriar Meadery keeps me busy. Helps me keep my mind off of things. My father was a Stormcloak. My mother is the priestess of town. Don't mistake my political beliefs as a substitute for my family values. They're still my parents, and I love them dearly. I just think I'm not so certain that Ulfric's intentions are as noble as they think. I think Ulfric cares about Ulfric, and the rest is a smokescreen. I'd appreciate if you kept my opinion between us. The last thing I want to do is have my parents lose another child. Yes, actually. I'm partnered with Maven Blackbriar. I put up a chunk of the gold she needed to get the place off the ground. We've been staggeringly successful so far. In fact, I'm almost surprised how quickly she's generated business for us. My name may not be on the label, but some of my blood, sweat, and tears are in every drop. Figuratively, of course. It's been good talking to you. Yes? What is it?
Yeah, what do you want? If this is about the meadery, we can talk later. You're crazy. How dare you make such an accusation? You aren't making any sense. Hand what over? Well, that was important.
What can I get you? Mead? Wine? If it's true that the dragons have returned, what will it mean for all of us? Is this how it all ends? Come back and see us again.
Sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you much right now.
Don't cross me, elf. Riften's under my protection. You watch yourself now.
If it's a bed you need, talk to Kirava in the Bee and Barb. She'll set you right.
Yes? This temple is dedicated to Mara, and the light of love she shines on us all. I'm only a humble acolyte, though. If you wish to avail yourself of Mara's blessing, you should speak with Denya Balu or Maramal. Until next time.
Blessings of Mara upon you. Wonderful. Where to begin? Mara is the goddess of love. The temple spreads her gifts by tending to the sick, the poor, and the lost. We also perform wedding ceremonies for all the loving couples in Skyrim. Mara's domain encompasses the emotions we strive the most to embrace: love, compassion, and understanding. It's difficult to appreciate her gifts in these dark times, but you should consider her light a beacon in the storm. Of course. I'd be more than happy to add a donation to our charity box. Right now, the best you could provide is coin. We need all the help we can get. Thank you. I can promise you that this will be put to good use. Yes, if you were ready, of course. Are you familiar with typically love? A person who is looking when another person shows interest and the two agree to be together. One of them comes to the temple and we arrange a ceremony.
Come to laugh. If you're trying to ask if I tend the Hall of the Dead alone, then the answer is yes. You think anyone around here is going to lift a shovel to help me? Guess again. Leave the dirty work to old Alessandra. Look, I didn't ask for this job. I got stuck with it thanks to my father. I'd like to make the journey to the Hall of the Dead in Windhelm and give my ceremonial dagger to Anders, the caretaker.
May you return to her
I believe once it's interred with my father's remains, I'll be at peace with his memory. I hadn't asked you because I was afraid you'd say no. I appreciate your help. Here, I'm entrusting you with the dagger. Bring it to Anders and he'll take care of the rest. My father was a priest of Arkay. All my life was spent around the dead, being forced to learn the proper burial rituals and prayers. I never had any friends. Who'd want to spend time with the weird little girl who hangs around dead people? So I grew up with a miserable trade. This is all I know how to do. Prepare and inter the deceased. A priest of Arkay is entrusted with a ceremonial dagger once they've completed their training. It's usually given by the head priest who sanctified the ritual. In my case, the head priest happened to be my father. The thing is, I never wanted to follow in his footsteps. In some ways, I still don't. I had to, for honor's sake. But I had waited too long. My father died before he could see my training to completion. When I finally became a priest, they gave me the new High Priest's dagger. But I already owned my father's. So you see, I have to return it. It breaks tradition, and I need to tell him that I finally did what he wanted. Be cautious. The pilgrimage to the shrine is not an easy one.
No lollygagging. Riften's under my protection. You watch yourself now.
You could say that the Ratway is the city under the city. Dark, dangerous, and no place for decent folk.
Oh.